Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional, and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organizer who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organized home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. So are you wanting to reduce your environmental footprint while still being able to cook delicious meals? I'll share some really simple tips for organizing a sustainable kitchen, such as cooking methods and that use less energy, and reducing food waste, batch cooking, and using some eco-friendly kitchen products. Let's jump into this Simply Happy conversation. Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional, and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organizer who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organized home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. Every fortnight, I also share guest conversations with experts passionate about the future of our home, health, and the planet, which will provide you with actionable takeaways to create a more organized and happy life. Thanks for joining me for Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional, and simply happy life. Today, I want to talk about 9 really simple tips that you can implement to create a more sustainable kitchen that will also help you to reduce your environmental footprint with just a few easy tweaks to your kitchen. So number 1 is opting for energy efficient appliances. So using energy efficient appliances like induction cooktop or a slow cooker or maybe an air fryer, which are going to consume less energy compared to our standard ovens and stovetops that we're used to. So it might be looking at when you're replacing your gas stove next time that you're looking at a more energy efficient replacement when it's time to. Also looking at an air fryer. So should we make space for an air fryer? I have been debating this for a couple of years. And so I actually went and did some research. And from the research that I found that air fryers use half as much electricity. Now, some of my kids would put on 1 hash brown in the oven or 6 nuggets, and the use of the oven compared to putting a air fryer on for a couple of minutes, it's that warming up of the oven that takes so long and uses up so much energy. So now that we purchased the air fryer and we've been using it over summertime, I'm converted. I absolutely love it. It saves not only time, it's better for the environment, but I actually really enjoy the taste of some of the foods in there, especially things like my roasted vegetable salad. I can do this in half the time just in the air fryer. So I'd love to know if you're an air fryer person like me, or you've been converted, you've been sitting on the fence and not quite sure, but maybe you've been converted. So number 2 is cook with seasonal and local ingredients. When we choose ingredients that are seasonal and sourced locally, it helps to reduce the environmental impact of transportation of those fruit and vegetables and any other things that are in our local area. This is always so much cheaper as well. I know at the moment, both of my kids have been asking for oranges, and I was like, at the moment, they're still coming from America. Once we come into the season in the next month, then you'll have an abundance of oranges, and also the price of it and the cost of them will go down. It's the same as grapes. They were also craving grapes this year, and they were so expensive in the middle of summer. Now the prices come down. There's an abundance of them, and they actually taste a lot better as well. So when we're planning our meals for the week, is really thinking about what are the vegetables, fruits that are in season that we could be using to plan meals for the next week. Number 3 was reduce food waste. When we meal plan or we store leftovers properly and we get a bit creative about using the food scraps, we actually are then minimizing the waste that we have. For me, at the end of a week, I usually go shopping on the weekend for my fruit and vegetables. And so I will look at the end of the week as to what vegetables are maybe not looking so healthy in the crisper, and I will then make a soup with them, or I'll use them to roast the vegetables and make a salad. I love to get the tomatoes and roast those. I've even started using the air fryer to roast the actual tomatoes, and they've turned out beautifully. So just thinking about what you could do with your leftovers at the end of the week, if there are leftovers, rather than just putting it into the bin. Number 4 is use sustainable cooking methods. So opting for cooking methods that use less energy, like steaming or simmering or using a pressure cooker, and keeping the lids on while we're boiling on the stove rather than leaving the lids off and all the energy is being wasted. That's like such a small thing that we can think about that can make a huge difference. Number 4 is choose eco-friendly cookware. When using cookware made from sustainable materials like cast iron and stainless steel or ceramic, these are going to be more durable and they're going to last a lifetime, especially if we're looking after them and showing the proper care that they require. I'm sure we've all had that fry pan that didn't last very long and has now ended up in landfill. So really thinking about what materials we're going to purchase so that it's going to last a lot longer period of time. Number 6 is growing your own herbs and vegetables. When we consider growing our own herbs and vegetables at home, it's going to reduce us needing to go to the store to buy more produce. It actually tastes a lot better when we've planted them and grown them ourselves. You know there's no chemicals. You know that they've just been in your backyard and receiving the love and care that you've put into them and maybe other members of your family. It's also a great way to teach kids about growing things, and it's going to save you money, and it's also going to encourage a sustainable future. Number 7 is composting food scraps. It may be a worm farm that you're going to put your bucket of scraps into. Maybe you have chickens and you can be feeding your food scraps to them. And then there's the programs around certain areas where they actually have a bin and they've allocated that and would like you to continue to add your food scraps so that they can be made into compost to create that nutrient-rich soil for our gardens. Number 8, eat more plant-based meals. Plant-based foods generally have a lower environmental impact than animal products. Raising chickens, pigs, cows generates as much greenhouse gases as our cars and trucks all combined. Cows expel methane through their burps and as they digest their food. So that methane is the main source of greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture. By promoting a more plant-based meal, even reducing your consumption of meat once or twice a week is going to give a big impact to our environment. And number 9, our final one, is our eco-friendly products. So just looking around our kitchen and thinking about our dishcloths, are there ways that we could use ones that are recyclable so that we could wash them, use them, maybe every day you use one, you get a new one out and you put the other one in the wash. So we're still using the same one after it's been cleaned. Same with scrubbing brushes. Could we be recycling the head of it and using a new one when we need to, but otherwise keeping that same one and using it over and over rather than using a scourer that's going to go in the bin after a couple of uses. Another one is looking at beeswax. Instead of using your Glad wrap, is looking at beeswax sheets and how you could use those in your home. Brown paper instead of the waxed paper, and then also considering the cleaning products that you're using in your home. There's some really great cleaning products that are out there that have reduced chemicals in them. These cleaning products can be stronger if you add less water to them, or otherwise, depending on the part of the home that you need to use it. So, for example, a bathroom, you probably are going to keep it as a stronger strength, whereas maybe in your kitchen area, it's not quite so strong, and it may have a little bit more water added to it. But you're looking at these types of cleaning products that can be used throughout your whole entire home, that are also low in chemicals, are not only going to be better for the environment, they're going to be so much better for your health. So we might just quickly go through and summarize the 9 things that I've shared for making a more sustainable kitchen in your home. So number 1 was opting for energy efficient appliances, in particular maybe looking at an air fryer. Number 2 is cook with seasonal and local ingredients. Number 3 was reducing your food waste, how you can do more meal planning, also looking at your leftovers and preparing the items that you're going to need and maybe using a freezer as well. Number 4 was use your sustainable cooking methods. Number 5 was choosing eco-friendly cookware. Number 6 was grow your own herbs and vegetables. Number 7, compost food scraps. Number 8 was eat more plant-based meals. And number 9 was looking at your eco-friendly products in your home. I hope by thinking about these environmental practices in your kitchen and adopting maybe one of those, it's going to reduce your environmental impact while also still helping you to create enjoyable, delicious meals. I'd love for you to share in my Facebook group, Simply Happy Organisation, which of the simple, sustainable kitchen change you'd like to adopt. Thanks for listening to Simply Happy Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Simply Happy Conversation. If you're looking for a safe place to sell or donate your no longer needed items, then come join the Simply Happy Organisation Facebook group. You'll also find storage solution ideas, organising hacks and tips, and makeovers to provide accountability and motivation for you to get started in your home. Head to Facebook and join the Simply Happy Organisation Facebook group today. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.